The full body fitness class. My name is Dan Sparks, coming to you from the Foothill Ranch location. Quick overview of the class. If you've never done one with me, I'm going to go through a full warm-up with everybody. So we're going to touch on some different things, getting us nice and warm, activated, and ready to go. Then I'm going to introduce 3 different movements. Usually it's a full body workout, so we'll probably have a core movement, upper body, lower body, things like that. And then with those 3, I'm going to show you more of a beginner, intermediate, and advanced version. Once I've shown you all the variations, I'm going to post up 3 workouts for you guys to do at home. Okay? Equipment wise, if you have a mat for the ground, depending on where you're working out at home, pop that out. Some light dumbbells, kettlebell if you have it, and a weighted bar. I understand if you don't have bars at home, that's fine. I'll give you some other stuff kind of as we get into that for that movement. Okay. Moving into our warm-up for today. Like I said, 3 movements. We got front and lateral shoulder raise. For those light dumbbells, we're going to bring up for that. If you don't have dumbbells, grab some water bottles, maybe some just random objects around the house. Doesn't have to be crazy heavy, just enough to kind of wake our shoulders up a little bit. Some reverse lunges for that lower body. No weight needed there, just some space. And then what I call the beast hold. Again, just a body weight movement. It's holding that position, getting our cores, shoulders going a little bit more as well. Okay, so first one's that front and lateral raise. I'm going to pick up some light dumbbells. I got 5s here. Again, you can use pretty much anything for this one. Feet are going to start underneath your hips. I want you to stand up nice and tall, tummy's nice and tight. You can have a little bend in your knee, you don't have to be locked out. For that front portion, thumbs leading the way, we're just going to come straight up in front. For the lateral, we're going to move out to the side, keeping those arms like nice and straight, kind of making our body like a T, and then we're going to come down there. Adjust back to that starting position, drive up, out, and down. That's 2. Let's go for 10 here today. Nice and slow and controlled. Pause at each spot. Focus on what our shoulders are doing. Keeping them down and back. We don't want those shoulders to come up towards our ears. Good job, guys. Go 3 more. Round out this 10 here. Last 2. And last one. And perfect. Should start to feel that in the shoulders a little bit. Put those weights down, shake your arms out a little. Next one we're doing is a reverse lunge. What I'm going to do, I'm going to kick my mat to the side here, so I have a little bit of space. We'll come back to that in a second. I'll go side view for you. So you just need enough room so you can step back and do like a normal lunge position. So I'm going to step back with my left leg first, keeping my chest upright, my tummy nice and tight. I'm just going to sit back nice and far. Imagine like I'm on train tracks. We've talked about this in the past with lunges. You don't want to be on the same line, kind of like back behind you and lose that balance sort of thing like that. So drive back, step back wide, chest up, and we're just going to drop that back knee down. Ideally, we're going to be able to touch that knee to the ground, making sure that front knee is staying back behind my toe. Stand up and then come back from there. Okay, let's do a couple more. So step back with that right, sit back, tap your knee, and then the feet come back together. Let's do one more on each side here. Tap, and tap. We're going for 10 each. So find that rhythm. I like to put my hands out in front, kind of reminds me to keep that chest up. Making sure my core is tight, posture is good. I'll do halfway like this, and then I'll turn my body so you can see me from the front, so you can see, get an idea of how wide I'm going with my stance. Now, if you can't get that back knee to touch the ground, not the end of the world. I'll finish with a few half reps. Just sit to about there. Come back together. Half rep. Same movement. Still want you to, get a little bit wide base, strong base, core tight, everything like that. Just don't go so low. Maybe we had hip mobility issues, maybe it's a knee thing, it's all good. All right, guys, shake those legs out a little bit. We're gonna get into that last movement of our warm-up. It's called a beast hold. Mat comes in handy here. So this one is kind of a combination of a plank hold and a bear crawl, kind of put it together, okay? So come on down to the mat. Hands are on the mat. Trick with this one is we're going to try and stack our shoulder through our elbow, through our wrist, to the ground like that. So make sure you're set up in a good position there. Feet, you're just in like a tabletop position. So feet are going to, toes are going to be tucked underneath. So from here, once you are ready for the hold, all you're going to change from here is just lifting your knees up off of the ground. Okay, so I'm going to pop my knees up there. Notice how my back is nice and straight, parallel to the ground. Core is nice and tight. And I'm just going to hold. This is my beast hold. Okay, you start to feel it in the legs a little bit. Start to feel it in the core, in the shoulders. We're just going to go for 30 seconds today. Keep checking in on where your shoulders are. Common mistake, people start moving back a little bit or kind of trying to fall forward. You want to stack everything over each other. A few more seconds here. Start to feel that little body shake. That's good. Everything's waking up. 3, 2, 1. And knees come down. Adjust. And we can stand up. Good job, guys. Shake everything out. Take a deep breath. Perfect. Let's go back to the first movement. One more round of all this. Pick up those light weights again. 10 more reps of our shoulder front and lateral raise. Here we go. Find that starting spot. Shoulders down and back and up, out, down. Adjust. There's 2. Nice and slow, guys. Again, it doesn't have to be very heavy for this one. We're just going through those planes of motion to get that whole shoulder capsule waking up, activated, warm. Slower the better. Little pauses at the end of each range. Good job, guys. Keep checking in on that core, trying to lean back. Just that tummy's tight. And squeeze your legs a little bit, get those activated and going. 2 more. Last one. Perfect. Weights go down. Shake those arms out a little bit. One more set of the reverse lunges. Okay, I'm going to start facing you this time. 10 each side again. Here we go. Get that full depth if you can. Stop about halfway if you need. Just find a rhythm to it. You can pick up the pace a little bit if you're comfortable with it. You can always grab weight. You can hold it here. You can hold it at your side. Wherever you feel comfortable. This is your warm-up, your workout today. Add that resistance if you need it. I always lose track of my reps when I'm talking to you guys. Do a few more here. Feeling good. Last 2. And perfect. Good. Shake your arms, shake your legs. Everything feels good. Last set of the beast hold. I'll go side view again just so you can see what my knees are doing. Knees don't have to go very high. Remember, you want your back to be straight and parallel to the ground. The most important thing is stacking through all those joints. Okay, you don't want to be kind of hugging back here. You don't want to be side to side, forward, or anything like that. All right, 30 more seconds. Ready? And go. Find that spot. Control your breathing now. See where that balance takes you a little bit, kind of tweak around a little bit. Make those tiny little adjustments if you need. Just be careful you don't getting caught in dropping those knees too low or raising that butt up too high or anything like that. Find that spot. Hold that spot. About 10 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and relax. Great job, guys. Stand on up. There's our warm up for today. Shake it all out a little bit. Grab a quick drink if you would like one. And we'll move on to today's movements. Like I said, 3 movements usually cover the full body. Barbell push press, so that's where my bar is going to come in handy. If you have dumbbells, we can do it with that. If we have a PVC pipe or a broom, sweep, something like that. It's going to be like that stick. We can get creative and work with that today. Single leg RDL. So single leg, that's what that means, on one leg. RDL stands for Romanian deadlift. We'll get into the details of that one. And then heel taps is another core movement where it's a little bit of a crunch with some side-to-side movement. Okay, breaking them down. First one is that barbell push press. Different colors represent by different levels. So the beginner, number 1, we're just going to keep it really light. Okay? I should have wrote / dumbbell if you have it in there. But again, be creative with what you got around the house. If you don't have a ton of weight, that's okay. We can still move. We can still get a lot out of this. You'll see for the workout later, okay? I'm going to use my bar. When you're setting up with the bar, try and have it about thumbs distance away from your quads. And we're just going to pop it up to this starting position in that front rack sort of. So the elbows are slightly in front of the bar. You kind of stacked your wrist through so you're not kind of tweaking this back too far in the fingertips. You kind of got that good grip on there. Elbows are ahead, tummy's nice and tight, feet are underneath your hips. So from here, think about kind of pulling that chin tuck back, driving this bar straight up, right over your head, locking out those elbows, and then popping that head through that imaginary window that you've made just to the top, okay? As you come back down, just like you went up, bring it back down in front, elbows slightly in front, and you're stacking back through, okay? So let's do a few here, tummy tight. Kind of pull that rib cage down and a big press, lock it out. You can get that extra little press at the top if you're feeling good in the shoulders. You want to stay nice and active. Another one, come back down. Let's go sideways for you. A little sideways view so you can kind of see where my elbows are. I like elbows in front. You can play around with kind of getting them really high up if you like front squats or you've been doing like some cleans and things like that. Not crazy necessary for just the shoulder press. I just realized it's push press. My bad. So this is press I've shown you so far. Push press, which I'll show you from the side, is you're going to be in that same spot, but now we're going to use our legs. So we're going to dip down a little bit, kind of loading that spring, keeping your chest up strong, and then from here, pop, and then send that weight straight up over your head. Again, pop that head through that window. As you come down, you can completely stop, reset, dip, drive, down, dip, drive, and so on. If you are comfortable with this movement, now you can play around with kind of absorbing as you come down. So facing you again, I'm going to do my dip, drive straight up. As I come down, I'm going to absorb, pop, absorb, pop. Keep the bar close, absorb, pop. Okay, so you can find a little bit of a rhythm to it that way. When in doubt, just slow the bar down, stop it on that rack position, make sure everything is where you need it to be, make sure that core is nice and tight, make sure ultimately you are ready for the next lift, and then dip and go for the next one. Okay? When you dip, one last thing, Be careful you're not coming too far forward with those knees. You don't need to go into the toes and kind of push like that, because then you're going to have a tendency to want to fall forward, send that weight out in front of you. So think more of like being on your heels or that kind of flat foot, mid-foot, where you're just dipping down here. Notice my butt's back, my shins are upright, and then I'm driving strong from there. Okay? With the levels today, just play around with the weight, play around with what you got at home. Light, medium, or heavy. Plan accordingly for the workout that you're going to see in a little bit. Second movement is that single leg RDL. First of all, level 1, we're going to do what I call a kickstand. So you're going to work one leg, but you get the other one as kind of like a little cheater kickstand kind of on one side. Level 2, we're going to take that kickstand away. Now we are truly on one leg. I'll show you how we do that. Play around with the weight, light or medium. And then level 3 is more for the heavier weight. Okay? So let me grab this kettlebell. Again, you can use different objects, different things, dumbbells, whatever you've got at home. But what I'm going to do for this kickstand version, weight's on the right, I'm going to work the right. My other leg is kind of just like back behind here, more for balance than anything. I'm going to have a little bend in that front knee. This weight now is kind of right in front, kind of right next to my leg. Keeping my back super straight and strong. I'm just going to hinge down to like middle of my shin. No need to go to the ground. You go to that point where you feel that little stretch, little pull in the hamstring in the back of your leg, and then we just drive straight back up from there. Okay? Hinge back, keep the weight really close, close, close. Where is that stretchy point? Right about there, and then we'll drive back up. Okay, let me go sideways so you can see what I'm doing. So that front leg's the leg I'm working, back leg here, just out there for balance, little kickstand. Hinge back, weight stays close, 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 get to that stretchy point right about there. Notice how the stretch, or the angle of my back is nice and straight and strong, and then I'm going to drive right back up. Okay? So that is your level 1 single leg RDL with the kickstand option. Level 2, taking the kickstand out, now we're playing the balance game. I'm going to keep this same weight, I'm going to stay on that same side, right leg. So now my back leg is off, other hand can be out, kind of like a counterbalance, and then a little bend in the knee, and then we're going to do that same thing. We're going to hinge over, I'm going to try to look right at myself up there, back is nice and straight, and then we drive back up. You can tap that toe on the way up if need to kind of find that balance again. Then we go sideways so you can see it again. So set yourself, find that balance, other hand's out. Find your balancing point right about there is my stretch, and then we drive up from there. Okay? So with that one, you just want to make sure you keep that weight nice and close to you. When you go down, don't let the weight go out in front too far like that. Keep it nice straight. Bar pouch basically, and then you should feel that in the back of your legs, so we're working the hamstrings there. Okay? Level 3, challenge the weight even more. We're just going to go even heavier with things. Okay? Last movement of the day is the core movement. Matt's coming back into picture, and this is my heel tap. Level 1 are going to be the traditional knees bent crunch, okay? Tons of different ways we can do a traditional kind of normal crunch. If you have a chair or a bench or box or something like that, we can use that. I'm going to use my ball today to kind of show you what I mean by having your feet up at 90-90. So from here, kind of pull that ball in nice and tight so this is all nice and straight and strong. And then different variations on the crunch. You can keep your hands at your side and then just kind of crunch up like this. So we're working that core and then come back down. A good crunch is, we can go hands on the head, crunch, hands across, crunch. We can even reach, try to tap the heels or the ankles up top. Okay? Level 2 is more of the true heel tap is what I'm looking for. So now our feet are flat on the ground. My hands are at my side. As I do the crunch, so I'm going to crunch up. Now I'm looking for my heels. So I'm going to tap a heel, come back, tap a heel, come back, and then relax down to the ground. Okay? So it's 2 taps, as you can see on my level 2. So we're crunching up. Tap 1, tap 2, back down. Okay? Simple heel tap crunch core movement. Level 3, we're going to double things up. So while we're crunching up, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, back down. That's 1. Just doubles the number of taps. Big crunch, holding the crunch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the middle, and then we relax down. Make sure you come back there before laying back down on the ground and prepping yourself for that next one. Okay, so that's our core movement for today. It's called the heel tap. Some different variations for the different levels that we have out there. Okay, workout time. Level 1, more of our beginners out there. You're gonna work for 4 rounds. Excuse me. You're gonna work for 30 seconds. So 30 seconds on, and then 30 seconds off. Meaning you're gonna move for 30 seconds, and then you get to rest and transition for 30 seconds into the next move. We've seen the 3 movements: barbell press, push press. If you don't have a bar, using some dumbbells, PVC pipes, something like that. Basically, you're moving that way, whatever variation you're doing for 30 seconds. You rest for 30 seconds, and you move into the kickstand single leg RDL. Okay? And then the last movement is the heel taps. For this one, just kind of like that traditional crunch. All right? Once you finish the heel taps, you're in your 30 seconds rest. You're gonna go back up to the barbell push press for round 2. Level 2 are intermediates, still sticking to 4 rounds, but we've changed the timing. Now you're gonna work for 40 seconds, and you get a shorter rest of 20 seconds. So a little bit more work and a little less recovery time. Still doing those same movements: the barbell push press, single leg RDL, and now heel taps. Remember the levels for level 2, barbell push press, like light to medium weight, single leg RDL, we're no kickstand now, we have a weight, we're kind of moving it nice and controlled, and then the heel taps, just 2 taps for everyone. Got it? And then level 3, for our more advanced guys out there, 4 rounds again. I've added 5 more seconds of work and taken away 5 seconds of rest. So now we're going 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off of the same 3 movements. Our push press, hopefully a little bit heavier now. Single leg RDL, again a little bit heavier. And then the heel taps, double taps. So it's 4, 2, 3, 4 taps every time you're in that crunch. Okay? All right, my last slide of the day, little review, kind of what we've gone over, and then you guys are free to do the workout at home. Workout today is done for reps. If you want to count your reps as you go, awesome. Jot them down, keep track each round, maybe during that rest time, recovery time, so that you can try and stay consistent. And maybe on that last round, really try to push yourself and give everything you got left in the tank. Okay. Work for the allotted time. So again, it's either that 30, 40, or 45 seconds of work time, and then your rest and transition time, depending on your level, is that 30, 20, or 15. So keep that in mind. For the single leg RDL, I want you to switch sides each round. So the first round, you're going to do all on the right side. Second round, move over all on the left side, and so on. So you get 2 rounds on each side total. The workout goal today, pick levels and weights that you can push yourself, and you can work for the entire time. Okay, if you're hitting a wall with it early, just bump those weights down a little bit, maybe adjust to one of the other levels, just so we are moving continuously for this workout. Use that rest and recover to be ready to hit it again. Okay, like use that time wisely. If you notice that like the 15 or the 20 seconds rest is not enough, just bump yourself back down to that 30 on, 30 off, and really push the 30 and get out of it that way. Okay? Hope you guys enjoyed the workout. Reminder, there is no class next week. We'll get back on track the week after and keep going from there. All right, guys, enjoy. Have a good one.